Hello, you beautiful people. This is computer science for everyone. If you remember in previous episode, we talked about variables and their data types. We talked about integer, float, string, and characters. Also, we discussed about how we can retrieve some data from user using input function and convert it to integer like int. And also, you saw that how we can print out a value of an expression or a variable or just simple message using print function. Today we're going to go further. I'm going to make a decision based on these values. You do this all the time. For example, you are trying to purchase something online. When you choose your location, then the app based on your location try to show you different offers available in your local area. So it's a decision making. Looks like if you live in this area, then I'm going to show you these offers. Else, if you live on the other area, I'm going to show you different offers. So based on values that we stored in variables, we should be able to make a decisions and continue our applications. And that's what we're going to talk about it today. Selection in programming. So to start, I want to show you a flowchart and then I start to code that flowchart in Python. Let's look at the first one, a very simple, funny one. So if you look at this flowchart, we do have start point, and we're going to say that input, how old are you? Then we have a diamond, decision making. If age is greater or equal than 70, we're going to print out you are age to perfection. If not, we're not going to do anything for now, and then stop. So that's our first flowchart. I'm going to go to my Python editor and code this flowchart for you to see that how will be the syntax of this selection in Python. So now we are in my screen. This is my Python editor that you can see here. So I already wrote the code for you that you can see how it's going to work, and it's equivalent by the flowchart that we're discussing about here. Okay, now take a look to my screen and look at the first line. In the first line, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get age of my users. So I do input, how old are you? And this backslash n is a way that I try to construct the computers to go to the next line. This doesn't matter at the moment, just let it be there. And then I convert the value that I get from user to integer because remember that what I get first is a string. We discussed about this. You get in a string. If I type 45, if I type 30, if I type 25 or type 88, there are a string. I have to convert them to numbers. Then now age contains that value. Then here I use if. In Python, if and else can easily be achieved by using keyword if. You write if, then you write your criteria, the criteria that you are going to test against that the value that you have, the variable which is age in this case. This is that diamond. And remember that in our current version of flowchart, the diamond has only one branch out, is the yes. If it is true, how we're going to show that, we use colon. Colon means the criteria finished. If finished, in the next line, I use a little bit of indentation. Look at the indentation. This indentation is very important in Python. It says that this part of code should be executed if criteria is true. Satisfied, then go to this line and print you are age to perfection. But if not, just do nothing and then come to the line 4. To show something simple, I'm going to say that done. Looks like finish of the code. So what we're going to do, we're going to run this code. First, we put a number, okay, greater equal, lesser than 70, like for example, 50. So what do you expect to see? Just done. And I run the code again and I put a number like 72 or 70, then what we're going to see, we're going to see you age perfection, then down. Let me run the code. When I run the code, system show me a dialog and ask me to key in the numbers. Let's see how it works. Okay, I'm going to click on the run button. So you see that now asking me because I use the input functions. I'm going to start from 50 first. Let's see what's going to happen. See what do we have here. Um, I think you are not able to see the whole screen. So just a moment, I'll try to show my screen. Okay, perfect. So you see what is the outcome? How old are you is the question that I asked. And because I key in 50, what you see is down. You didn't see anything like you are age to perfection because age is not greater than. 70. So let's run the code again. I will clear my log, run the code, and this time I'm gonna put 70 itself because I said greater or equal than 70. So this time you see you are aged to perfection. Then you see the down. This little experience shows that this code is conditional, is not going to execute all the time. But this line always will be executed. This print down always will be executed. But this line, which is a part of the if structure, because it's coming after that indentation, so it's going to be executed only when the criteria is true, satisfied. So back to flowchart again. So that's what exactly we were looking for, to see that this is getting run when this branch is really, this branch will be executed when the outcome of this criteria is yes. Otherwise, it's going to go and do stuff. Now I'm going to go a little bit further. I'm going to go and talk about a bit more complicated version of this flowchart. Take a look at this flowchart. Here we have to do more stuffs. Here not only we have an activity to do when it's yes, we do have also another branch. We want to do something when the outcome is not true, when the criteria is not true, is false. Then we're going to print you are a spring chicken. Then we're going to go to the stop. So pay attention. We have now two possible branches when criteria is true, like what we did now. And now this time we want to add another kind of control over when criteria is not true, is false. I'm going to go to my code editor. It's very simple. I'm going to come, I'll back to the line, so no indentation anymore. I'm going to write else, because it doesn't matter what is the number, whatever is age, I mean, doesn't matter it's 60 or 50, as long as it's not 70, come to this branch. You see that when I press enter, my editor helped me to write the next line with indentation. Some editor doesn't do that. If not, then you can press tab key and come to the right and then write it down. So it's very important you keep it consistent. Okay, you can't just do it with any two tabs or one tabs. It should be exactly one tabs. So that's very important. And here I'm gonna print. I forgot what was the message. Message was, oh, you are a spring chicken. Okay, so back to code. You are a spring chicken. So this is now a different version. So let me maybe you can have this kind of line between your code if that make it a little bit more readable for you. Okay. So here now we're going to test it with different numbers. This time I'm going to test with a number less than the 70. What do you expect to see this line to get executed, not this one. And then we're going to see down. And then I will try with number above 70. This should be only executed and not this one. So let me clear here. Let me run the code. We're going to start by like a 50. So whole are you? That's the input with it. And then you are a spring chicken and then down. So which line executed? Line number 5. The line belong to else. The line that will be executed when this is not true. So else do this one. And now let me clear this and run with a number like 75. Also, you are aged to perfection. You're never ever going to see both of these two lines get executed. So that's a very important concept here. Now let's go for final flowchart, final challenge that I have. Here we have more things to do. Here we want to be a little bit more specified. For example, you see they added another diamond here, which will check age against the 50. Let's take a look from the very beginning. If age is greater than 70, so we're going to say you age to perfection and then a stop. Then it's not else, it's one more checking. If age is 50, you print, wow, you are half a century old. Then we're going to go to a stop. Else, we're going to go and say again, you are a spring chicken. So, so you try to understand that here we do have three possible branches, three possible actions that we want to do it. Like what I did here, age above 70. But before I go to the else, I want to make sure that if age is 50, then I want to print something else. So in this case, we have another commands. In Python, we call it elif or else if, simply means else if. And then here I'm going to write down the criteria again. if age is equal, look at how I do the equal. I put two times sign operator, 50. Then what I do, I will go and I write, wow, you aged half a century. So Uh, then let me run my code this time and see what's going to happen. So I try to run first again with a number above 70. I'll type like 78. So I got you are aged to perfection. I run my code by this time 45, let's say. I'm going to get your spring chicken. And I'm going to run my code with 50 exactly. I got you aged half a century. That's really fun. So look at here that three branches and each time run depends on the criteria. So you have three criteria here. One is the age greater than 70, one is age equal by 50, and else. So it's sort of criteria, else, whatever else. And there's no any limit for you in number of this elif that you can add. For example, let's say I will add another elif here, and I say that it's, remember, case sensitive. If I say that if age is above equal to 18, if age is not above 70, if age is not 50, then if age is above 80, so I may print that you are an adult. Okay. Else you are a spring chicken. So try to understand something very important. Always one of them will be executed. It's not possible you be 78 and you be 50 and you be 18. Not at all. So it's so determined. So if you are more than 70, this part will be executed. If you are 50, this part will be executed. If you are above 18, this part will be executed. And else, anything else that I didn't talk about it, go to this branch and say you are a spring chicken. So now make more sense, right? Less than 18 will be in this branch. Above 18 till 50, we consider this. After 50 till 70, also still we consider this one. You're an adult. And above 70, we consider this one. So let's run for the last time. I'm going to put like 12. You are a spring chicken. Run it again. I'm going to say 19. You are an adult. I'm going to run it with 50. You aged half a century. I'm going to run with 62. You're an adult. I want to run it with now 78. You are aged to perfection. So it's really cool the way that you can really control all these kind of branches. I really suggest you, after this video, write down this code yourself. Try to add more elif. For example, what if you want to send different messages for people between 50 to 70? You want to call them senior citizen, or you want to call them experienced, you want to call them professional, whatever you like. That's your choice, your code. So you can do it. So you can add more elif. You need to add another one for people between 50 to 70. Or what if between 50 60 and 60 to 70? That's will be really interesting. So try to play around with this else and else if and see what else you can do that. You can create even more codes. For example, you can get a person weight and height, and you can age and you can calculate their MBI or BMI, their body mass index, and then based on the value of the BMI, give them some suggestion. That's a good example of using if and else. I hope you enjoyed. So try to understand the connection between this and those flowcharts. Try to write down the code and have fun with Python and programming. See you in the next episode that we're going to go and continue more into programming.